In this video, I will discuss some rotational motion problems from previous question papers of IIT JEE. This is the first question. These are multiple choice questions, more than one correct answers. The torque tau on a body about a given point is found to be equal to A cross L, where A is a constant vector and L is the angular momentum of the body about that point. From this it follows that option A, dl by dt is perpendicular to L at all instants of time. B, the component of L in the direction of A does not change with time. Option C, the magnitude of L does not change with time. Option D, L does not change with time. You can pause and attempt this question. So tau is being given as A cross L and the torque tau is dl by dt. So the dl by dt is perpendicular to both A and L because cross product of two vectors, the resultant vector, is perpendicular to both the individual vectors. So if A and N are in the plane of this paper, then the torque tau, which is same as dl by dt, is perpendicular to this plane of paper. So torque is perpendicular to L and torque is dl by dt. So dl by dt is perpendicular to L. So option A says dl by dt is perpendicular to L at all times. So option A is true. Option B, the component of L in the direction of A does not change time. So L dot A equal to L cross theta into A, where theta is the angle between the vectors L and A. So if we take the time derivative on both the sides, we get d by dt of L dot A equal to d by dt of L cos theta dot A. A is constant vector. Time derivative of dot product of two vectors is dot time derivative of the first vector into dot product of the second vector plus first vector into dot product of the time derivative of the second vector. And dl by dt is the torque tau, which is perpendicular to A. So the left hand side is 0. So d by dt of L cos theta should be 0. So the option B is true. Option C talks about the magnitude of L. So L dot L is L square. So taking derivative, time derivative on both the sides, we get twice L dot dl by dt equal to 2L dl by dt. And dl by dt is torque tau, which is perpendicular to L. So the left hand side is 0. So dl by dt should be 0. So the option C is also true. And torque is dl by dt. In general, the torque is not 0. So option D is not true. So the correct options are A, B and C. Let's move to the next question. A solid sphere is in pure rolling motion on an inclined surface having inclination theta. Option A, frictional force acting on sphere F is mu mg cos theta. Option B, F is dissipative force. Option C, friction will increase its angular velocity and decreases its linear velocity. D, if theta decrease, friction will decrease. You can pause the video and attempt the question. This is a free body diagram of the sphere. The forces acting on the sphere are its weight mg vertically downwards, normal direction perpendicular to the inclined plane, and the friction force is tangential to the plane, and the sphere is translating down with an linear acceleration a and is rotating with an angular acceleration alpha. So writing the force balance equation along the plane, the net force downwards of the plane is mg sin theta minus f, which is equal to mass to acceleration, and the force balance in the normal direction is the normal force equal to mg cos theta. So the option A says the friction force is mu mg cos theta. That's not true. So option A is not correct. And the friction force will be a dissipative force if there is a relative motion between the two contact surfaces. Here it is pure rolling, so it's not a dissipative force. So option B is also not true. As the friction force increases, from equation 1, the acceleration will decrease. So the velocity will decrease for a given initial velocity and a given time interval. The torque about the center point of the sphere is F into R, because the forces, the weight mg and normal reaction will not produce any torque as they pass through the center. Only friction force will give rise to torque, and this torque is I into alpha, the rise moment of inertia about the center point. So as the friction force increases, the angular acceleration alpha will increase. So the omega will increase for a given initial omega naught and a time interval. So as the friction force increases, the linear velocity will decrease and angular velocity will increase. So option C is true. Option D talks about the friction dependence on theta. So from equation 1, the friction force depends on theta and the acceleration. So this linear acceleration related to angular acceleration as alpha equal to a by r. So from this we get A as, using this expression for alpha fr by I, we get A as fr square by I. So using this is equation 1, we get this one. So from this, f is mg sin theta divided by 1 plus mr square by I. So as theta increases, sin theta will increase as theta increases between 0 to 90 degrees. So as theta increases, f will increase. So as theta decreases, f will decrease. So option D is also true. So the correct options are option C and D. This is the next question. A ball moves over a fixed track as shown in the figure. From A to B, the ball rolls without slipping. If the surface BC is frictionless and KA, KB and KC are kinetic energy of the ball at A, B and C respectively, then so you have to compare the heights at points A, B and C and the kinetic energies at points A, B and C. You can pause and attempt this question. So the energy at point A is the potential energy mgHa because it's being released from point A, and the energy at point B is the linear kinetic energy half m bb square plus half I omega at point B square, and the energy at point C is the height mgHc plus half I omega B square. Because the maximum height point H, there won't be any translation velocity. So comparing EA and EC, EA and EB and EC are equal because there is no energy dissipation. So comparing EA and EC, we can conclude that HC is less than HA. So option C and D can be eliminated, and the kinetic energy at point B will be maximum, and kinetic energy at point C is only half I omega B square. Kinetic energy at point B is half I omega B square plus this linear kinetic energy. So kinetic energy at point B is greater than kinetic energy at point C, and kinetic energy at point A is 0. So the maximum kinetic energy is at point B. So option A says kinetic energy at point B is greater than kinetic energy at point C, and HA is greater than HC. So option A is true, and option B says HA is greater than HC and kinetic energy C is greater than A. So option B is also true. So the correct options are option A and B. This is the next question. A sphere is rolling without slipping on a fixed horizontal plane surface. In the figure, A is the point of contact, B is the center of the sphere, and C is the topmost point. Then 4 options are given. So you have to determine the velocities at point A, B and C and check whether the options are true or not. You could pause the video and attempt the question. So let the sphere be translating with the linear velocity v and let it rotate with the angular velocity omega. So the velocity at point B is v I cap. X-axis is say left to right, and velocity at point C is v I cap plus omega r I cap. Since it's purely rolling, the relation between the tangential velocity and the linear velocity is v equal to omega into r, and at point A the total velocity is v I cap minus omega r I cap because at point C the sphere will be rotating in this direction, and at point A the sphere will be rotating towards left. So omega r will be in the opposite direction of V, and V is equal to omega r for pure rolling case. So VA is 0. So option A says VC minus VA. VC minus VA is 2V, and the right answer is twice. VB minus VC. VB is V. It's minus V. So option A is not true. Option B is comparing VC minus VB. VC minus VB is V, and VB minus VA is again V. So option B is true. Option C, VC minus VA, that is 2V, and twice VA minus VC magnitude, so it is true. Option D, VC minus VA, that is 2V, is 4 times VB. VB is V, magnitude of it is V, so it is not true. So the correct options are B and C.